Welcome to our Blackfish POS video tutorial series. This video is going to be a demo of the features in Blackfish Point of Sale when it's running in quick service mode. The software has the ability to run in quick service mode or table service mode. Quick service is going to be for businesses that have simple counter walk-up service, food truck businesses, and oftentimes behind the bar, where someone's going to come up, order an item, cash out, and we want to move right to the next order. In table service mode, we're going to require the users to start a table number before each check, before any items can be rung in. So depending on the type of business you're running, table service mode or quick service mode, one will be better for you. If you have multiple stations in your restaurant or your establishment, you can have some that run in table service mode as well as some running in quick service mode at the same time. You can run table service mode out for your servers and quick service mode, say, behind the bar. So this is our login screen, and we'll go ahead and take a quick look. We'll sign in. And in table service mode, we always, when we sign in with our number, are brought directly to our order screen. This screen is where your staff is going to spend the majority of their time. The software is designed to keep them on this screen as much as possible so they can simply move from one order to the next as quickly as possible. In table service mode, this won't be the case. In table service mode, they will navigate largely from here, which is our desktop, and this is where they will see all of their open tables and be able to pick from them. But for this video, we're going to look at quick service mode and give you a basic overview of the features. The screen is broken into four main parts. We have the display screen on the far left. This is where we see all the items as we ring them in, and we have a running tally at the bottom of the balance of the check. Down the middle column are our product groups. These are the different groups that our individual products are broken into to make it easy for your staff to be able to find them. This is how we organize our menu and make it quick for them to be able to find items for order entry. We recommend that you break these groups down into the same way that you have them on your physical menu. That's going to be the easiest way for everyone to be able to find them. If you have more than the 5 that are showing right here, you simply use the arrows to page up and down between them. If you have a larger menu, you're going to have more product groups. You can have as many as you need. To the far right, we have the individual products that fall within those groups. These are the individual items that we are selling. We can see these are the products in our beverage group. These would be our appetizers, salads, and so on. So it's just a quick way for your staff to be able to find the things that they're looking for. And then at the bottom, we have what we call our map order buttons. You have 30 buttons down here that are available to you. These are your quick fire buttons. These are going to be for the items you sell the most and want for your staff to be able to find the easiest. These are static buttons. They don't change unless you go in and change them. So again, you have 30 buttons down here that you can use so that if you do have a large menu, you could place the items you sell the most of down here, and that way your staff can ring them in quickly without having to go through the different groups and find them. You have room for 15 items within each group that show right away before you use the arrows to page up and down. If you have more than 15, you would simply use your arrows to scroll through them. So you'll see up here, you see a lot of the blue space that looks like it can be utilized, and it is as we get into the ordering process. We just don't see the buttons there until we need them because they'll change some through the ordering process. So if we begin and we ring in a beverage, you'll see now that all of these spaces kind of fill in. We have some different options. We have quick payment buttons across the top. We can pay cash, check, or credit card. So that we can cash out and move right to the next order. Or we have a payment screen we can go to where we can also build in all kinds of promos if you have different discounts that you do, or comps or voids. Again, you can make your payments from here as well, cash, credit card, and check. We can also add a customer name to a ticket. So if you are taking someone's credit card and starting a tab, you could put the last name on the check, or if the order is going to be for an employee or a manager, you can add their name to the check. We have a repeat and repeat quantity button for fast reordering. We also have our exception modifiers button down here, which we'll take a look at. One of the really great features about the software is the exception modifiers and the force modifiers that are built in. And we can look at that in some examples. A force modifier is going to be a choice that it forces your employee to make before they can continue to order. And these are used primarily to make sure that there are communications on the ticket for when choices are allowed to be made. So if we ring in wings, we'll see. It's going to pop up and tell us we have one choice. We have a maximum of one choice here in the white box to pick what kind of sauce we want. So we'll choose hot. And then it's going to say, now from the dressings, we have a maximum of one choice to pick what kind of dressing we want. We can use this as well for meat temperatures, for, say, burgers or steaks. We can also use it for salad dressings. And we'll see that when we ring the item in, once we make our maximum selection, so on this it's going to be one choice, then that goes away and it brings us right back to the ordering screen that we were on before, so we can continue to order. That's a forced modifier. It's forcing you to make a decision, make a choice, before you can go on and continue ordering. We also have exception modifiers, which are located here. And exception modifiers are also communications that go on a ticket to tell a kitchen staff or a bartender how an item needs to be made. But exception modifiers are for things that are not used as often. So we don't want to force someone to make that selection and slow down the ordering process. We just want it to be there if they need it. So in this example, we might say we rang in a large salad with ranch dressing. And now we might want to hit exception modifiers and say they want that dressing on the side. And they want no, we'll page down, croutons. When we're done selecting all the exception modifiers that we want to use, we simply hit that button again. And we're right back to the order screen now where we can continue with our order. We'll clear this seat because it's getting to be a lot to look at. And that's going to leave our Coke there because we'd already sent it. You also have the ability with your force modifiers to select multiple. So if we select a shrimp basket, we can see here it says we have a maximum choice of 2. So now when I select the first one, the force modifier options for the sides are going to stay on the screen until I make my second selection. Once I've made that maximum choice of 2, it's then going to go away. So that's a really great way to keep your orders accurate, make communications to different people who are preparing the items to put in those customer requests. We also have a C server button, so if there's something that needs to be communicated and you don't have something built into your modifiers for it, if they have just a odd request, we can type in notes here that will be delivered as well. And another neat thing you can do with your forced modifiers is we can use it for upcharging. So if we look at here and we order a Bloody Mary, we see it charges $5. If we ordered a Bloody Mary call, we'll see it charges $5 here, but then it's going to force us to choose which type of vodka we would like to use. And if we select absolute, it's going to add another 75 cents or whatever price you have set onto the ticket. So that's a great way to then be able to keep your costs right and keep your costs consistent. If we go back here to the desktop at the top left, then we see this is where we navigate through the rest of the front of the house. This is going to be more so for your managers and your owners. As we said, in quick service mode, we try to keep them on that main order screen as much as possible to just keep moving. Any orders that are left open are going to show on the desktop. So if you have started a tab or have an order that hasn't been paid out yet, it's going to show here. If we've put a name on it, it'll be displayed in the middle, and the server's name will be at the bottom. And then we can always recall that check and add to it or cash it out at any time. On our order history, we'll be able to view our different orders, opened, closed. All the checks for the day are by user. We can go to our time clock, clock in as whatever different roles are assigned to us. That's going to track our payroll, let them start breaks, pay any cash in or out throughout the shift that needs to be done. On the finance screen, you can also find transactions this way, filtering by different payment types. On the far right, gift cards, credit card, cash, house accounts, and check. This is where we'll close out the house at the end of the day to reset our totals for the next day. You can view that closeout at any point on your preliminary report. We do have a bevy of different reports that you can access. We have our master sales report, and then you can look by different revenue types and centers, by lunch or dinner, by each individual product within its sales group. So how many Bud Lights did you sell today, or whatever you may be checking, your sales by employee. And then we can look at all those different promos, voids, comps we've done, and all of our payroll data at the bottom. We have the ability to merge orders together. If Mr. Johnson on order 22 wants to pay for Mr. Roberts' food, we can combine those orders together and transfer orders between different servers. So that's going to be just your basic overview of the front of the house. Like we said, once you get your employees and your menu programmed into your system, then it's very, very user-friendly, and it's going to be very simple to navigate. Your system button here is only going to be available to those employees you give it to. That's mainly going to be your managers or your owners, because it takes you to what is considered the back of the house. And that's where we are now. The back of the house is where you enter in all of your pay rates, your prices, your taxes, things of that nature. So we only want to let qualified individuals access this information, obviously. And when you get your system, there will be a user manual stored on the Windows desktop that will have a exact breakdown. It mirrors the back of the house just like this. So if you go to the user manual and you click on number 1, job codes, it will have screenshots that are illustrated that will show you exactly what buttons you need to push and walk you step by step through exactly how you set up each of these steps. Steps 1 through 5 is going to be setting up your employee information. That's going to be entering your employees, saying how much you pay them, what they're allowed to do in the system. Can they place an order? Can they do voids or comps? That type of thing. Step 6 is your printers. That's primarily going to be set up for you before you get your system, but if you ever needed to make changes, it would be there. And then step 7 through 11 is where we build your actual menu, your database of the items you sell. This is where we'll make those forced modifiers we talked about, meat temperatures, salad dressings, things of that nature. Those exception modifiers, like they want it to go or on the side. We can set pricing intervals if we have happy hours or different specials we run on set days. And then in 10, we'll make all of our product groups. These are those groups that run down that middle column we talked about. And then at the bottom of the page, we'll make the individual products that go within each of those groups. We have the ability to set a count and remove an item when we run out. So if you know you have 15 Bud Lights left, we could put 15 here and check the box. When we sell that 15th beer, it'll remove the item from the order screen so that no one can order it again. We have the ability to prompt for price on a product. So if you have an item that sells at market price, or if you just need like an open button or a miscellaneous button, we can set that where when you ring in that item, it will pop up a box and ask how much you want to charge. We can also set a scale function here if you're using a scale. Yogurt shops, seafood markets, things like that. If you need to charge by the ounce or by the pound, we can set that here too, and use the pizza builder function if we want. On the menu screen, you're never going to touch the top half. You don't have any changes you want to make up here. That's directly related to your database, and you'll leave it as you get it. But at the bottom, you'll simply move the product groups you make into the chosen menu, and that will put those onto your order screen, or you can come here to move items off the order screen when you don't want them anymore. We can come in here to your system configuration and customize what's going to print on your receipts as they come out. Page down and create the discounts, comps, and voids we talked about. And then we have at the very bottom those map order buttons that we discussed, and that's where we would create those so they would show up. So that's a quick overview of the Blackfish point of sale as it runs in quick service mode. Like we said, we simply click new order to get to this screen, and then for your employees, they would ring in the items that they want. They can simply hit new order if it's not being paid for right away and continue again, or they can cash that item out. We have quick cash buttons on the side, or the ability to type in how much was given to us and hit OK. And when you do that, it's going to then show you how much was paid, what change is due, and how many items were sold on this ticket. This shows very large, so it's easy for management to see, and it's easy to see from a security camera for accountability purposes. It's going to show you how many items were sold on that check, so you can see here if they rang in 3 beers, but you can see on the video that they handed out 6 beers. That's going to be there for your tracking and inventory purposes for accountability. So, but they would simply cash that out and hit OK. It's already moved on to the next order number, and we are simply ready to begin taking a new order. So it's really, really fast to just move from one to the next. If you'd like to see the demo of how it runs in table service mode, that's another video that you can check out on our Blackfish POS video tutorial series. Thanks for joining us.